Say, Emily, I actually heard that you managed to talk to TX2. How do you feel?
Listen, I'm just as surprised as you are that I was able to talk to TX2. I mean, I'm also quite impressed that our subscriber count is growing, even though you're possessing my body right now and you're not exactly letting me have freedom. I'm still quite impressed, I guess.
What can I say? Your audience adores me. Now, why don't you just do that 600 subscriber special of yours? You know, the one where you're explaining all the mental lore? I mean, after all, back in chapter 1, I tried to tell them that you were a bad person with that, but oh well. I guess my plan didn't exactly work as planned.
I just want to say thank you for 600 subscribers. I'm quite impressed on how fast we've been growing over this year. So, for my 600 subscribers special, I wanted to explain more of the Hidden Files, aka the Mental World lore. Since, obviously, it's not really in chronological order, so I might as well give an explanation now for people who are new to this channel, people who don't get it, and so you now know more about the Mentals. Now, let's get reading, shall we, darlings? This all started way, way back. Back when Science Emmy wasn't really a thing. Well, she did, but she had a different name and a different form. However, this identity has been permanently deleted, so I can't exactly say what she looks like now or basically what her name was. However, this was before General Emmy became, well, a general. And she wasn't really part of logic back then, she was mostly just in charge of reasoning, mostly. This past Science Emmy used to be General Emmy's mentor, basically teaching her the ways of the mental world, how to operate it, etc., etc. And so, back then, I'm pretty sure the creator, aka me, was either 1 or 5 at the time, just in basically in elementary school. But unfortunately, past Science Emmy fell into a hole full of pent up bottled emotion, which now we just call it venom. But General Me tried to save her, and well, she couldn't make it. She basically tried begging for help, hoping if somebody could save her, but unfortunately, when she tried to get help, nobody remembered her. Nobody remembered her past mentor. All they remember is that General Emmy was next in line to take over the mental world, sort of be in charge. And so that's basically how she got her hat. She got used to it after a while, and her form started to change a little. New clothes, new boots. She still kept her scarf and her hat, and, well, her eyes started glowing white. Something like Hero Brian to say. Now, okay, you might be wondering, hey, if this is what happened in Juno Emmy's perspective, what happened in the past Science Emmy's perspective? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, past Science Emmy fell into the hole, and, well, her form started to change. She almost lost her memory, per se. And, well, she fell into a black void of some sort. And, well, there was someone who was torturing her. I can't say who because, for the sake of, I don't know. But basically, someone tortured her into looking like this. This, we have no idea what this Emmy is called, as the file doesn't exactly have a name, just unknown or unnamed, to be honest. This happened for many years, probably until 5th grade, per se, but then suddenly she was offered a deal. A deal to be reborn, to be a new identity to help take over the mental world back into her control. The issue was her past identity would be forgotten, would be deleted. So, she offered the deal and turned into Evil Emmy. Now, of course, General Emmy did not even recognize her at all. She tried explaining, but of course, General Emmy didn't really believe her. So, Evil Emmy decided to enact a plan and to take over the mental world while General Emmy is trying her best to keep control. Now, back from a other perspective, now Soft Emmy and Attitude Emmy were basically falling in love with each other. Also, yes, I am kind of using the designs a little of their current thing. Believe me, they looked a lot different back then. But basically, they both had a crush on each other in high school. They were nervous, the typical romance stuff, kind of like a rom-com. And then eventually, Attitude Emmy decided to play her guitar in front of Soft Emmy and ask her out and see if she wanted to be her girlfriend. And so she said yes, and they began dating. Now, what does this exactly have to do with the lore, per se? Well, Evil Emmy wanted to create havoc, so in terms, she decided to make 3 bullies and sent them to the school that Attitude Emmy and Soft Emmy went to. The bullies basically aimed for Attitude Emmy, threatened her per se, say they were gonna do bad things to her if they didn't broke up, and eventually, Soft Emmy and Attitude Emmy broke up, and, well, Attitude Emmy was stuck in the group, or their little group, and Soft Emmy was left to deal with the pain. She couldn't do anything, to be honest. And well, basically, Soft Emmy took a deal with Evil Emmy to give her some happy pills to, well, make her happy. However, the side effect was yonderism. And the definition of that, it's not really a real word, but it's basically an illness where you become, well, a yandere for who you love the most romantically. And so it caused her harm to herself, to others, and even made baked treats of her victims and sold them for more money. It got to the point where she actually almost harmed Attitude Emmy, her love. And as soon as she harmed Attitude Emmy, she knew this had to be stopped. So she put a gun up to her head, go to the roof of the school building, and I think you can tell what'll happen next, as Attitude Emmy tried to stop her, but again, couldn't make it. However, dear reader, mentals cannot die, so Evil Soft Emmy was born and shot, Attitude Emmy in the side of her head to the point where Evil Attitude Emmy was born. Yay! Yeah, so that's the 2 chaotic duo. Even though, Evil Attitude Emmy still loved Evil Soft Emmy, they still loved each other, but just were kinda, again, nervous. Well, Evil Emmy decided to push General Emmy into a hole just like she did all those years ago. Well, and so General Emmy fell, but luckily, with the power of her book, she managed to basically get out quickly. Oh, and Attitude Emmy, blah blah blah, she still had feelings for Evil Soft Emmy, and then they kissed, and then they were, like, purified from their thing, 'cause love and stuff, yada yada yada. Yada yada yada, we're getting into the part where General Emmy defeats Evil Emmy, and in the process, General Emmy decided, hey, we're just gonna sacrifice our emotions to save this person. And now let's just skip a few years where the creator, aka me, for when they were in 7th grade, I decided to appear in the mental world, and I exist in the mental world. It was fun, it was nice, and I made some skits with the mentals. Now, okay, let's skip to when I was in 8th grade, I'm gonna have to assume. But then all of a sudden, Omega Emmy kinda just messed up my mind, and then I turned into Flipside Emmy. So then Omega Emmy Flipside caused some havoc, and General Emmy had to fight back, and it was kind of an issue because they're phoenixes. And then General Emmy kind of got corrupted. She got those like powers with Venom, and we had to fix her. Well, maybe not me, but I know who. So then Friday Night Funkin' Emmy, aka an Emmy-AU, basically went to help corrupted General Emmy, got fixed, blah blah blah. And well, as you can tell, this video happened, which unfortunately is kind of the cringe, knockoff, low-budget version of the actual fight, but it still happened, yeah. So yeah, that's basically my explanation. My memory is a little trash though, so if you have any other extra questions, comment them down below and I can answer them for you. Now, if you'll excuse me, this little phoenix has gotta fly and make a video for TX2.